All right, guys, welcome to the pre-show.
So excited to have you here.
Yay!
We are going to talk goals today.
We are 4 days out from our first webinar. It's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, the next day's Thursday. Friday is the first webinar, you guys. I'm getting super pumped.
Yep, me too.
Like finishing the last finishing touches on the workbooks and the PDFs. You guys, can't wait. I'm already thinking of the playlist.
I know. I was like, we need a song before we
I
do
know.
this.
I thought about it, and then I was like, no. I thought about pulling it up, and I was like, you got to save it for the webinar.
Yes.
Just save it for the webinar.
Yep.
Goals.
So you'll have to come Friday.
Yes.
And we've had a lot of questions, so we'll cover some of those maybe really quick, right?
Yes.
Webinars are recorded.
Yes.
They will be made available. Usually it's 24 hours. Sometimes it's a little bit longer because we do closed captioning. And so when we send it in for closed captioning, they say up to 72 hours. So just know those will be made available. Everything will be split up by topics. So you can look for topics, whether it's the live videos that we do, like the lives within the group, the webinars, all that kind of stuff. So basically, just show up. Look at the page every day.
Yes.
Once a day.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. I talked to them earlier today about not being overwhelmed.
I saw that live.
Yes.
It was good.
Like, don't be overwhelmed.
Overwhelm is a choice.
Yes.
Remember? Yes. In fact, I called Brooke on Monday. Was that yesterday?
It was yesterday.
And I was like,
yes.
I'm choosing overwhelm right now.
But it is a choice.
But it is a choice.
Yes.
But I'm choosing it.
Yes. Yes. And we all do sometimes. Like, nobody's perfect, but you can always start fresh every single day. And leading into goals, like, that's a really important thing to talk about, is because you're going to set a really amazing goal tonight. Like, you're going to shoot for the moon, right?
Yep.
And throughout the month, you're going to have periods of time where you feel overwhelmed, or you feel like there's no way this is happening. I don't know how it's going to come all together. And you could choose to be overwhelmed, and you could choose to shut down, or you can choose to just take action. Just to take one step closer to that goal, one step closer with your actions, with your mindset. And when you choose to take action, the overwhelm dissipates. It really does. So let's start talking about goals.
You guys, like, seriously, a perfect example of this is yesterday I was in complete overwhelm, and I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, 2 more weeks and my kids go back to school. I'm not going to make it. Like, I don't know why. It's like gone in phases for me. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm good. I could do this forever. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Oh, I'm good. I could do this forever. I don't really want to go back to school. Oh, send them back to school. Like, it's literally just been like this. And yesterday I was like, I literally can't work my business another day with my family in my house. Like, that is where I was at. Yes. Mm-hmm. And so this morning, so what I did, this is just a little tip for you if you're a stay-at-home mom. I literally put my computer in my bedroom last night. And then when I woke up this morning, I woke up and I pretended that I was still asleep, so I didn't go out. I just, like, stayed in my bedroom. I went to the bathroom. I came back and I worked. I got my messages done in 20 minutes because everybody thought I was asleep in my house. So my kids weren't coming in and asking me questions. The dog wasn't begging for her Plexus pills.
Lauren's hiding in her bedroom right now.
See? Yes, you get it. And my morning went so much better.
Quarantine from the family.
Yes, I had to quarantine myself from the family, okay? But instead of my messages taking literally 3 hours, I got 20 minutes, all of them done. And there were just as many today as there were yesterday. I got all of them done in 20 minutes because I just pounded them out, and everyone thought I was asleep. Sean came in and he was like, is everything okay? Are you okay? Because it hadn't come out yet, and it was like, I don't know, 11 or something. And I was like sitting in the dark in the bed, and I was like, I'm good, everything's good. Shh, don't tell the kids I'm awake.
And then you could come out and be present.
Yes,
and then and not be like
and
so
then
irritated.
Yes, I walked out and I was like, good morning, instead of like, gotta get done. And I was so, you guys, I was like, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna put makeup on. I feel so different today. So like, if something's not working for you,
try something
different. And so my goal for today was to come out a happy mom. And I achieved that goal. And so I just want you to know, like, there's no goal that's too small or too silly. Like, goals like that really matter, and they make a difference. So as we're doing this goal setting call, I want you to make goals that are little like that are like achievable. Because sometimes we make these big goals and like, we're like, but I feel so achieved today.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the word is.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I did it. I was successful, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So starting small.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So small steps lead to big goals. And the first thing we want you to do tonight is we want you to write down on paper, if you've got a notebook or a planner or something. We've already had you kind of think about this, have your dream session and everything. But where is it that you want to end at the end of the month? And when I do this, it's really more specific. It's not just where I want to end, but I write down the names of everybody on my team in the levels that I know. Like, there are some level 4s that I really know and that are working towards goals. So I'll write down all of their names and where I want to help them get to, where I want my points to be, where I want contest points to be, all that kind of stuff, like very, very detailed where I want to be by the end of the month. Now, it might look crazy and ridiculous and like, how is there any way that that's going to happen? And right off the bat, you might write something down and it might just seem super overwhelming to you. But the process of mapping out your goals breaks it down into those bite-sized pieces that honestly do not feel crazy. They don't feel crazy at all, and you can digest that, and you can be like, okay, so if I want to grow by 100 points this month because I want to go senior gold, 100 points divided by how many days do we have left in the month? I mean, 20, let's just say 25 so that my brain can do easy division. I need to grow by 4 points a day. 4 points a day is like 1 order a day, okay? You need to get either 1 white line or less than 100 PV or 1 new person. Now, when I'm talking to my team about ranking up and setting like a point goal and how far they have to be, I like to think of at least 70% of those points coming from new growth, 70 to 80%, and 20 to 30% coming from getting your less than 100 PV or your white lines up, because you don't want to just be raising the dead. Now, there's a way to raise the dead that we'll teach you in the webinars that can help you to raise the dead and keep them active, not just pay them to order, okay? So there's a way to do that, but I want to see most of that growth come from new growth.
Because then you don't fall back.
Yes.
Right? When you're bringing in that new growth and that new momentum, it's so energizing. Right? You feel motivated, and usually you get a new silver that might turn into a super silver and sometimes even a gold out of it. And then you're like, dude, it's fine that 5 people quit. I'm on top of the world, right? Like, it just gives you that confidence.
Yeah.
And it's so much more fun to work with those new people who are excited instead of like, oh, I mean, really? Like, you want to give me $20 to earn a Metaburn? Am I going to like the Metaburn? Like, what's so great about the Metaburn? And you're like, you just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're like, just take my Metaburn, please. I'll give you $20 to take the Metaburn. Right? Like, we've all done it. But instead, it's like a new person. You're like, oh my gosh, you can get these amazing products on sale for $99 with $9.95 membership. And it's amazing. You're getting all these things. And they're like, oh my gosh, I feel hope for the first time. And you're like, me too. So happy.
It's so true.
So happy.
It's so true.
Yes.
So drop your goals in the comments. Like, where is it that you want to be? And literally, like, you remove all the drama from it, honestly, when you map it out. You remove all the drama and
the fear.
And the fear that you can't do it, because you're going to make a daily goal, but you're also going to make a weekly goal. And throughout the month, you are going to adjust the goal, because you might have a slower first week. That's okay. It doesn't mean the goal is not going to be met, but you want to start out with your ideal plan right now. So if you want to grow by 100 points, your goal is essentially 1 order a day, right? If you want to grow by 200 points, your goal is essentially 2 orders a day. So how are you going to get those 2 orders a day? Who on your team is working? So you need to identify who. I typically say who in your levels 1 through 3, right?
And if it's just you, that's fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
Normal. Totally normal.
It's normal at the beginning when you're silver,
or
senior,
also when you're
gold.
sometimes when you're emerald. Also,
yes.
that can happen.
It can happen at any point. You can be like, hello,
at any
team.
level.
Where are you? Where is everybody? And they're on vacation. They're like, oh, I can't work this month. We're going on vacation or whatever. And you're like, okay, plan B. But you know, if you've got some people that are working towards goals, whether it's silver or senior silver or gold, or you see potential in somebody, you're going to write their name down and you're going to be like, this is exactly what I would do on a little janky pad of paper. And it was like, okay, I'm going to help Sarah get 3 people. I'm going to help Mary get 2 people, because if she gets 2 people, she gets to gold.
And sometimes Mary doesn't even know
Mary
that
doesn't know she's
runner.
on our list.
Yeah, sometimes she doesn't even know that she's the runner, because she just like signed up her mom, right? And Brooke's like, I have 2 more people, she can be silver.
Yep.
And Mary's just like, you know, just signed up her mom. And Brooke in her mind has like masterminded this whole thing to get her gold before the end of the month, right?
Yes.
And so like sometimes you just have to have the plan in your head without telling anyone what the plan is. Like you're the only one that knows the plan. And so like they might not even be signed up on your team yet. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna get her to sign up. And I know if I get her to sign up, she'll get 3 people, and then that will give me 4. Okay, so I write that down on my list.
Yes.
Like you just have to sort of create it out of nothing sometimes.
Yes.
And so the thing that is so discouraging to me, right? Like please decide to be an energizing leader for yourself and for your team, right? Because there's nothing worse than being a leader and having someone come to you and being like, I don't have any workers. I guess I can't make any goals this month.
I've never heard that.
Right? Like, and as a leader, you're like, okay, I gotta just turn it on here and really amp them up and be like, yes, you have leaders, you have tons of leaders. Like, who are you gonna have join your team? Right? And they're like, nobody. There's nobody to join my team. Right? Like, be a Tigger. Right? Like, instead of Eeyore, choose to be Tigger. It doesn't mean you have to be bubbly all the time. Like, sometimes I'm like, Brooke, I'm just really excited today.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not that like you always have to be this like bubbly, high energy Tigger that's always happy. I'm not saying that, but like be solution oriented. Yes. And so if you're sitting there, there's a difference between having a problem to solve and feeling hopeless, right? So true leaders, what they do is they're like, there's nobody here. Literally nobody on my team yet. I can solve this problem. Who am I going to sign up today? Well, let's think of ideas. I'm going to sign up Cheryl, and then I'm going to sign up Brittany, and then Tammy. Man, I've wanted her for 5 freaking years. Tammy, right? And if I sign up Tammy, I think I'll get these 3. Like, you will just write them out and then go to work. Forget yourself and go to work. Yeah. Because when you're like, I don't have anybody, I'm so hopeless, me, you're thinking about yourself. So forget yourself and go to work.
Amen.
And solve the problem, which is on the paper.
Well, I always tell people as you're setting up your goals, and if you're going for something big, plan on this being a month that you sponsor more people than you normally do, because you want your team to also work, right? And if you don't have a team yet, like say you're not senior silver or you're not gold yet, or you're a leader that has people like that don't have workers yet, you're going to be truthful with them. And you're going to say, okay, this month you're going to sponsor more people than you normally do. So you're going to sponsor 9 people. And from those 9 people, you're going to develop at least 2 silvers. And that's going to give you 15 more people to your team, which is easily going to help you to go gold. That's how I think about gold. See, some of you are silver, or some of you have silvers on your team that can't even imagine going gold this month. And in my mind, I'm like, well, it's obvious they're going to go gold. Because if they are just starting this business and they only have 5 people right now, it's actually not crazy to think they could sponsor 9 people. And you're going to map the money for them. So they sponsor 9 people, they get the $300 bonus plus all the welcome packs and the pay points. It's quite a bit of money, right? At that point, they've also gone senior silver. Maybe they've done it faster at senior silver and they're getting $300 instead of $150. So they've sponsored 9. And then you're going to help them sponsor or help 2 of their people go silver. That's 15 more people. Now, this doesn't just happen out of thin air for you or for your team, right? If your goal is to sponsor 9 people, which I hope every single person that's in the Momentum movement, like that is your goal this month, is not just to sponsor 3, but to sponsor 9. You want to get that cute sweater, right? Everybody wants it. You want $300 extra, and you want to rank up. So you have to do the work yourself. I like that, 10. She's like, I'll do 10. But then it's not just to sign people up. We have seen plenty of leaders that can sign and sign and sign. And as fast as they sign, they're out the other door. They come in and they're out. They're in and they're out. And I just think, wow, that's such a shame, because that person's experience with Plexus is like they just signed up and that was it. There wasn't like a lot of anything else that happened. Like, leave those people alone and leave them for somebody that's going to try to develop them. If you're going to sign people up, your job is to take the next step. and taking the next step with them to help them at least get a +1, right? Maybe it's just a +1. Like, who's your +1 going to be? Or maybe it is to go silver and to get 3. But your job is to give everybody the opportunity to at least get a +1, so they have their buddy, their accountability partner, or +3, and then you're going to have crazy amazing retention, and you're going to keep just exploding and growing forward. So your goal is 9. Your second goal is 2 silvers at least.
At least
2 silvers this month, 9 personals, 2 silvers. Now, if you do that, and while you're doing it, you're teaching your team members what you're saying.
This is what I did.
What you're doing.
This is how I got this person to post.
This is what the message I sent them. Here's the screenshots of our conversation.
This is what I said when I was enrolling them on the phone.
Yep.
Please, you guys, you're going to hear this all month long. We don't send people our link.
No.
Never.
No,
We don't take their information and put it in for them.
No.
Get on the phone. We send them up over the phone. Because then we have an opportunity to talk to them about their mom, their sister, their best friend, their dad who has the same birth date as my dad, or whatever.
Yeah.
Connect. And then you ask them to make a post on Facebook. Call their mom right after you get off the phone, because you've just heard about her mom. You've listened. You've connected about her mom, right? So I want you guys to make sure that you are getting people on the phone, asking them to post, hearing about their family, or if you know their family really well, asking how they're doing, and then influencing them to share with their family, with at least 3 people this month. You can even say, not to do a business or anything, just to have an accountability partner, right? Because it's more fun with friends, and you can see how it works differently in your body versus their body, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. So push yourself, right? Some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, I haven't even sponsored 3 people a month, like for a long time. Or maybe some of you are like, I haven't sponsored anybody in a really long time.
Well, but Nicole Brinkerhoff, she was like, she was amazing last month. She's been in Plexus for how long?
3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yeah.
She sponsored 29 people last month to go Emerald.
Yeah.
She's like, I've never sponsored 29 people, not ever. And she sponsored 29 people last month because she was ranking Emerald, like ride or die. She was going to Emerald.
Yep.
And the biggest thing that she said on our team call, you can watch it on my YouTube channel. It was insanely amazing. We heard from all 6 of our brand new Emeralds. Between the 2 of us, Brooke and I had 6 new Emeralds last month. 3 from mine, 3 from hers. 2 of them were from Christy Jex down my leg. 1 was a level 1 of mine. Okay. So like we had them all share, and Nicole said, like, your warm market is never gone like you think it is.
No.
It's not. And she proved that last month. So if you are sitting here and you're like, 9, I'm having hives. Brooke said 9. Like, I'm feeling stressed out about 9. Like, what if instead of like resisting 9, what if you were like 9?
9, no drama. I can do it. 9.
Like, it's a problem to solve. It's a new problem I haven't figured out before.
Yep.
Let's just write it down and see where we go with it.
Yeah.
Every day, let's work toward it.
You're just raising your standard. And honestly, in life with your goals, you get whatever your standard is. So if your standard is low, you're going to meet that standard. But if your standard is high, you're going to reach that standard. I like that. 9 is mine.
That's so cute.
9 is mine.
We need a graphic, Jerry.
9 is mine.
9 is mine. We're going to do a graphic.
But I know that Emily's coached a lot of people. I've coached a lot of people. And when people come to me and say, I've sponsored a crap ton of people, I'm like, well, that's nice. How many did you develop? So on your list, when you're making your goals, you can put down however many lines of people that you want to personally sponsor, but you're going to sprout off from those lines. How many are you going to develop to silver? How many are going to go to senior silver? Because in my mind, I'm always thinking, well, silver is just the gateway to senior silver. If I can get somebody to agree to post, to send some messages, and I can get them to silver, my brain has already moved ahead to senior silver, because I'm like, hey, that person's going silver. We're going to help them get 1 silver underneath them. They're already at 6. They're only 4 away from senior silver. See, you want to get to ruby. Well, in my mind, I don't even think about golds to get a ruby. I think about senior silvers.
Yeah.
You want to get to ruby and you're sitting at senior gold right now, 250 points. You need 5 senior silvers.
Yeah.
5 senior silvers in your levels 1 through 3.
Done.
Think about it that
done.
way.
And it's done.
You
did
want
it.
to go senior gold? Get 2 senior silvers and a couple other silvers in your levels 1 through 3.
Yep.
Done. So it's not a big leap to grow 100, 200
No.
points in those lower ranks, and in the upper ranks to grow 500 to 1,000 points. But if you just put the number on a paper and you don't map it out with how many you're going to sponsor, who's going to rank up, and how many that's going to add to your team, how many you're going to get to silver, senior silver, gold, all of that, you're going to have no plan, and you're going to go nowhere, and you're going to be overwhelmed because you're just going to be looking at this number. I got to grow 300 points.
How can I do that? I'm never going to be able to do that.
I've never grown 300 points.
Right.
Well, that's okay. That's okay, sissy. I call my daughter sissy. That's okay, sissy. Just because you've never done it before doesn't mean it can't be done, right? What you've done in the past, I don't give a rip, okay? That's not evidence to what you can do this month. Now, maybe you used to be super, super awesome at growing, and you've had a year of crap and just like sludging through the mud, and you're like, well, I mean, I just can't, I don't have it in me anymore. BS, you do. I don't care what your last year has looked like. You can pick up right now and make a decision right now. That's okay, sissy. Maybe that's going to be my line for this webinar. That's okay, sissy.
She's not calling you a sissy.
No, like sissy is a term of endearment.
Sister.
Like, hey, sissy.
Like, hey, sissy.
Yeah, hey, sissy. I'm not knocking you. Okay, but I just want to be really, really, really dig into this, because so many of us are stuck in the past, right? Like, we just feel like what we've done in the past is the evidence of what we can do in the future. And you get to decide today what you want this month. And it really comes down to what you decide. And one of the reasons why everybody that wanted to rank up last month ranked up in that thread that we had where everyone was together is because every single one of them had decided. They had no idea how they were going to grow 500 points, how they were going to grow 600 points, how they were going to grow 400 points. They didn't know what it was going to look like, but they sat down and mapped out, okay, I need to sponsor this many people. I need to help these people rank up. I need to help this many people get to silver. I've never had that much growth before, but I know it's possible. So
get a pen and paper out.
Get a pen and paper out.
Across the top of your paper right now, you are going to write, I am fill in the blank. Whatever you want to end the end of this month. You might say highest points ever. You might say gold. You might be writing ruby. You might be writing emerald. You might be writing sapphire, diamond, highest points months ever. Like, I am, write it right now on your piece of paper, please.
Well, and I don't even want you to say highest points ever. I want you to give me an exact number, because I did that last month. I was like, okay, it's time to break this 20,000
400 points. Instead of like saying
highest points ever.
Yeah,
you need an exact number that you can break down to the T, like how many ads or how many orders. We used to say orders. How many orders you need.
Yes.
And I don't even at this point, I don't, there's not another rank for me to reach.
Yeah.
I can re-enter again. I'm going to.
She will.
I'm going to re-enter again.
She will.
But I have to set myself a specific goal. So there's a specific number. So for me this month, it's like, okay, 21,000 points, right? And here's how I'm going to do it is by helping this person get here. And so it never ends. Whether you're at gold or a diamond, you're still setting these goals, right? How many points for super silver? 50 points. Basically 10 orders in your levels 1 through 3 of 100 PV or welcome packs, right?
Okay, guys, so you've written down your goal across the top of your paper. I am fill in the blank. I am 10,000 points. I am. Yay. I just did it. I am 20,000 points. I am senior ruby. I am, put it on your piece of paper. And then what I want you to do right now is I want you to think, what does that mean when you achieve that? So sit right now in a little bit of stillness with your thoughts, and I want you to say, like, what does that mean about me when I achieve it? Right? Like, for example, Brooke, when in your mind, when you were like, I want 20,000 points, like, what meaning did that have for you when you were working toward that goal?
So I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and some of you maybe heard me go live like a week ago or something, and I was thinking about how there were certain things that were necessary, and I had to raise my level of necessity. So I knew that it was necessary for me to get to 20,000 points, because if I didn't get to 20,000 points, that meant that some people didn't rank up. So that's what it meant to me, is 20,000 points meant that every single person in my levels my upper levels that ranked up to Jewel, that means they all did it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what those points meant to me. Now, maybe for you, gold means to you that you can pay all your utilities and your grocery bills.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe ruby means you can pay your mortgage. Or maybe senior ruby means you don't have to be stressed out because your husband's hours got cut.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's a different thing at this point.
It was like, I'm a developer.
I want to develop.
A Jewel developer.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what it meant to me.
Yes.
And for you, it might be like ruby might mean, if I go ruby, I've helped Sally go gold. I've helped Jennifer go senior silver. I've helped these people that need this in their life, but it's different for everybody.
It might just mean I'm making a lot of freaking money. Like, and that's fine.
And that's okay,
right?
too.
Like, it's a journey on what things mean to you the whole time through. Like, I remember that. Like, when my first 6 months in Plexus, right? Like the first summer that we were in Plexus, we had just hit Emerald. And I wanted the Nordstrom shopping spree, you guys. Woo, it's my favorite thing ever.
And you already got it.
I did.
We did.
So did you.
I know.
And we have girls on our team that have already earned it just in a month. It's so exciting. But I wanted that so badly. And in my mind, I was like, if I earn that, then I will be legit. Like, I will be someone that all of my neighbors will respect. It's so funny to like see the meaning we attach to things now.
Yeah,
like, why did I need that? Like, why did I need that? But I'm just being honest and vulnerable here, right? I'm just downloading for you so that you can be vulnerable with yourself and really tap in.
And not judge other people.
Yeah, and not judge yourself.
Motivation.
And not judge yourself too. Because like, I just really wanted that shopping spree because I was like, then people will like respect me. They'll take me seriously, right? And so I was like, if I win that, then I will be like professional. Like, people will see that I'm good at this, that this is legit, that like it will have, to me, it means like I am doing something that is worth following.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I also really love to shop. So I was really motivated by that too. But like, I want you to write down like what in your heart, like that it means to you when you get it. And you should get chills. Like, I'm getting chills right now thinking about a goal I made like 4.5 years ago, right? Like, it gives me chills because that was like in my heart what I knew I wanted, right? Yes, best day of my life.
Besides maybe my wedding.
And better than my wedding. My husband knows. I've already been honest about this on so many team calls. Like, I love my kids. It was probably better than the birth of my children. I know that's so bad, and like, just judge me all you want.
Fun.
Guys,
it's fun.
I love to shop, okay?
Yep.
It just, when you have 9-pound babies, sometimes the birthday of your child is not your favorite day, okay? Like, that's all I'm saying. So just shopping was...
And now you're peeing your pants, and it's just not fun.
Sometimes. Here's the thing, though. Okay, so
what does it mean to you?
What does it mean to you? Your goal across the top, and then what meaning does it carry? Without judgment, what does it mean to you?
Yep. Okay,
write it down. Then, how many orders do you need to achieve that this month?
Yes.
Go to My Business, Points and Rank, count how many subscriptions are on file for 100 PV in your entire back office. Or if you have a super enormous team, you want to look at the points you ended last month, right? Mm-hmm. And then what are the points you need to end up this month? Subtract that number. For example, if you're going for Senior Ruby this month and you ended at Ruby last month, you would need 250 points to go from Ruby to Senior Ruby. Yes, we have all of these papers for you when the webinars begin.
Yes.
Okay, this is just a bonus extra because we were too excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we were like, we should have them do goals. We should do a goal call. We want to do a goal call.
And I always tell people when they're looking at that, like if you look at your points from last month, which are pretty accurate now because welcome packs give free points. Yeah. It's pretty easy.
It's so accurate.
Take off 10%.
Yes.
You're going to lose at least 10%.
At least.
So if you have 500 points, you're going to go back to 450.
Mm-hmm.
And so 750 minus 450, you need 300 points minimum divided by whatever your point average is. And you can figure out your point average by taking your total amount of points that you had last month divided by the number of orders you had that were 100 PV.
It's totally fine if you didn't follow that at all.
Yes.
Here is how you have control of this. create new silvers and super silvers
Yes.
in your levels 1 through 3.
Yes.
Then your point average is 5.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
My point average is really high.
Sean's point average on his team is like horrible when you do the calculations.
Yeah.
But what I did is I was like, okay, 2.3 is just not going to work. So I'm growing in my levels 1 through 3.
So you can have 5
and our point average was 5.
Yes.
Okay. So just know that when you develop new silvers and super silvers and golds, your point average is 5.
Yep.
Right? So, and then you're getting all these extra points for leaders retreat and the shopping spree if that's your goal. Like all this is happening. Okay. So number of orders you need to hit your goal. Yep. Let's just say hypothetically it's 50, right? 50 divided by how many ever days are left in the month? Somebody tell us, please.
28.
28?
28.
28. Okay, so
that's about 2 a day.
Get out your calculator. It's fine. Yeah, it's about
it's about
Kara on our team is going senior Ruby this month. She hit Ruby last month, and she just messaged me, and she's like, "Okay, I just need 2 a day for the rest of the month, and I'll be senior Ruby, and that's my goal." And I was like, "Yes."
Yep.
Okay, so 2 a day, right? Feels small.
Yep.
2 a day. That means 1 from you, 1 from someone on your team, or 2 from you.
Or that's exactly how Nicole did it. It's like some days her team wasn't doing a lot, and she's like, all right, I guess I got to find 10 orders. So I guess I got to sponsor 5 people and get 5 people reactivated, right? Yeah. So you're just finding those orders per day, and that is the 4th thing you told me to do, right? Or the 3rd thing.
Yeah, I said
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, next thing you're going to do is I want you to write down what you are willing to give for this goal.
Good.
What you are willing to give. I don't want it to be like what I'm willing to sacrifice, right? Because you're not a martyr, okay?
Not a victim.
You're not a victim
of your success.
This is a blessing. This is a gift that you can create whatever you want to create. So what are you willing to give for this goal? Are you willing to give 2 hours a day? Are you willing to give 1 hour a day? Are you willing to give 4 hours on a Saturday? 2 hours on a Sunday?
Do you guys feel the abundance of this?
Are you willing to give instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to sacrifice 4 hours on Saturday. I'm not going to be able to go to the beach with my kids all day Saturday morning.
Smaller and smaller.
I'm using this as an example because these are some things that I had to give. I had to give 4 hours of my time. I got to give 4 hours of my time on Saturday.
Yeah.
My husband took the kids to the beach. I worked for 4 hours. Like I'm thinking of all these different times I've ranked up, and I gave certain things to my business. I didn't give up things in my life. I gave things to my business. I gave time to my team. I gave my efforts in 3-way messages. Like, what are you willing to give to make this happen? Because if you're not willing to change anything about what you've done in the past, and you're coming to this training like thinking you're going to get some magic pixie dust sprinkled over you, that's not what we're going to give you. We're going to give you the truth, honestly. And we don't want you to feel like a martyr or a victim to your business. Okay, it's not sacrifice, it's a trade-off, and you are giving something so that you can get something better. That's why Emily said, once you've declared your goal, what does it mean to you? What does it do for you in your life? What's the trickle-down effect on your team? How does it affect them, right? And then how many orders do you need? And then what are you willing to give to make that happen? I firmly, I hate the mindset of, oh my gosh, I'm having to sacrifice so much. I'm missing out on so many things. And I'm like,
it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I'm just going to be honest with you, because you guys know I have 6 kids. Emily has 4 kids. I love my family. I love my children. But some of us sit back and we play small because we feel like we are harming the people in our lives for actually working towards a goal.
I have a really good story about this.
Tell me.
Okay,
tell
guys.
Sorry.
My biggest fear was that if I was a mom that worked, that it would destroy my children.
Yes, me too.
Put a 1 in the comments.
Relate to that?
Put a 1 in the comments if this is your fear, right? That has always been the fear in the back of my mind, where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what's this gonna do to my kids long term?
Yeah.
Long term, what's this going to do to my kids?
They're going to feel so neglected.
They're going to like not get a good mom.
Yeah.
They're going to not be raised up in a good Mormon home, because that's my religion,
Yeah.
right? Like, so in my mind, that's the meaning that I go to.
Yep.
It's like, you know, like good moms, good Christian moms, like
Only
they stay at home with
focus
their
on
kids. And I'm so selfish that I'm working. I'm just being really vulnerable here and just letting my thoughts go, guys. So thanks for being a safe place. But like in my mind, I was like, you know, I'm giving that up because I want these things, right? And what is that going to do to my kids long term? And so that has been probably it has been my number one fear since I started this.
Yeah.
Just last month, my daughter came to me and she was like, Mom, you know what is so cool? And I was like, what? She's like, I mean, you work, but like, I like that you work because you are helping me learn how important it is to work, right? And I was like, tell me more. Like, explain to me, what are you doing? She's like, well, you know, Danny and I have decided that when we grow up, this is her friend across the street, her best girlfriend across the street. She's like, when Danny and I grow up, we have it all mapped out. And I was like, okay, what are you going to do? And in my mind, I'm like, please don't be a Disney movie. Please don't be a Disney movie, right? And she's like, and I'm thinking she's going to say, like, we're going to get married, we're going to marry rich doctors, and everything's going to be great. And she was like, Danny and I are going to grow up, and we're going to be rich diamonds, and we're going to buy big mansions for ourselves, and we're going to be super happy and be able to do anything we want in our whole life. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I picked Alexa's business to work, because my daughter's dream is to grow up and provide everything for herself.
Yeah.
And if she ends up marrying a man that does all that for her, fine.
Yeah.
But her dream is not to grow up and have someone take care of her.
Yeah.
And I actually, you guys, like, I literally was like, in this moment, I now receive confirmation 5 years later that this was right. And I felt like it was right and good the whole way, but my culture and my society and being a woman in America was telling me that it was wrong, and it wasn't wrong. It was right and it was good, and it took time. And I mean, who knows if they'll ever grow up and be diamonds? Like, that's not the point. The point is that her dream is to grow up and independently provide for herself.
Yeah.
And that to me is like, I am success at being a mom. Like, I am doing the right thing for my kids. And so please release that fear.
Yeah.
I've carried around that big heavy backpack for 5 years of like, I'm doing so much bad to my kids. No, like, they're turning out to be these amazing, independent, self-thinking children.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that to me was like God giving me a hug and being like, see, told you it was okay.
Yeah.
I've been saying.
Yeah. And so just to kind of piggyback onto that, like, when you set a goal like this, some of you have supportive families, some of you don't, right? And some of you have kids that are supportive or spouses that are supportive. Some of you don't. Some of you are single parents. And in those situations, when you don't have a supportive household, you don't have a supportive spouse, you don't have supportive kids, right?
My kids were not supportive in the beginning.
No.
Literally for the last 4.5 years, I've heard, why are you always on your phone? You don't love us anymore. You're not with us anymore, which is not true.
Yeah. But kids know how to manipulate, and kids know how to say the things that really get to you. But if you're in that situation, what I want to encourage you to do as you're working towards these big goals is have those sideline sisters, have those friends in the business that can encourage you and cheer you on. And I always think of this saying, I don't know where it comes from in the Bible or whatever, but you don't cast your pearls before swine. Mm-hmm. And so you can't necessarily bare your heart about your goals and your dreams with people sometimes within your own four walls of your home that don't support you. But it doesn't mean you're not supposed to work towards that, because I feel like every single one of us gets individual confirmation of what we're supposed to do. And even though it's hard, we know we're supposed to do it, but we continuously inflict pain on ourselves because we keep trying to share our dreams and our visions and our goals with our family, and they're just mocking us the whole way. And so what you have to do is guard your heart sometimes, and you have to only take these precious things to maybe your upline or your sideline sisters or people that are moving in the same direction, and eventually just pray and hope that they'll come along, which honestly most of the time they do.
My response is, fine, I'll stop spending my proceeds on you.
That's so funny. But you know what I mean? It's like you have to guard your heart. And so go to the people that will support you, that are within your team or your upline, and you just be excited and pumped up with them, and you just keep doing your thing, because there might be negative comments. I've had some negative comments as well, right? But I have always been very straightforward with my kids, very straightforward with my family. When I was working really, really hard to get to Diamond, if my kids would complain or be irritated that they had to load the dishwasher, or I needed them to read some stories at nap time to their sisters because I was finishing up a call, I would be very honest with them, and I would say, I am working hard like this because your dad has worked hard for 18 years and you never see dad, and I want you to see dad. Like, I would say that over and over and over and over. And do you know what my kids say to me all the time now? Mom, you worked hard so dad can be home with us. That's why dad can be here in Utah with us for this month. He can be here because of your business, right, Mom? They say that to me all the time. It doesn't mean I didn't take crap in the beginning. It doesn't mean any of those things, but they say it to me all the time now.
Same.
And my oldest son, like we go running together, right? We have these great relationships. It doesn't look the same as it used to look before Plexus. It looks different, but sometimes different is better. And we went running the other day, and he said, Mom, I like you better now than before when you didn't have this. I like you better now. And he's starting out. So just, you have to have some perspective, right? Your perspective will drive your performance. And I want you to have this long-term, like eternal perspective, we say a lot, right?
Yes.
This long-term vision and this clarity that I know where I'm going. I know why I'm going there. I know the purpose. Nobody around me might understand that, and I'm going to have naysayers the whole way, but I know where I'm going, and I know why I'm going there. So it really doesn't matter if my spouse or my mom or my sister or my kids, and I don't have to be ornery about it. I was never ornery about it or sassy or any of that. You can just stand tall and be proud and have courage and have faith and just know without being ornery, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. And so as you're setting your goals and you're looking at this big mountain that you have to climb, like so many people have done it before you. They have climbed the same mountain. So don't you dare say you can't do it. Don't say you can't grow 100 points and go senior gold. Don't say you can't grow 200 points and go ruby. I won't have it. Like, I just won't, like, no.
Shouldn't
I can't.
take any crap.
Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say it can't happen, because it's been done dozens and dozens and hundreds of times before, and you're just as special as that person sitting next to you on this webinar. You're just as special. Mm-hmm. But how hard are you going to work for it? What are you willing to give to get to where you want to be? And we want you to just blow the freaking roof off the place in August. We want you to work harder than you've ever worked. We also want you to love your life and enjoy your life. We're not going to tell you to pay no attention to your kids or no attention to like anything else. But like Emily said, she got more done in an intentional amount of time today than she did in 3 hours. And that's what we're going to teach you, is how to be intentional, how to work smarter, not necessarily 16-hour days, like how to actually focus on the things that move the needle forward, yes. Right?
Yes.
So, are you guys ready?
Did you write your goals down?
Did you write it down?
How many people are going to join your team this month? How many are you going to personally sponsor of that number? How many of those are you going to get to silver? How many people have added 1 or 2 and are just 1 or 2 away from silver? Write their names down, fill in the blanks. We're going to go into massive depth on mapping on the webinars, and you'll have forms to fill out and do all of that. In the meantime, make your own, right? Like blank lines, get started. You can transfer it all over when we start the webinars. I want you to just It's a problem to solve, and it's a really fun mathematical equation. Like, I don't like math. I love Plexus math.
Yes.
Plexus math is like the greatest thing ever. And I just get to use my little calculator to get it all out. I've never loved math so much in my whole life as I do in Plexus.
Okay? Right.
So just get the math out, look at the problem, and then just start filling them in one line at a time. And there's never again are you ever going to sit down and be like, I don't know what to do to work. Yes, you do, because when you map it all out at the first of the month, you're like, I see all the blanks.
Yep.
I need to sit down and figure out how to fill in those blanks.
Yep.
Well, I got one. Okay, could I get 3 from her? That would give me 4. Like, you're just filling in blank lines.
And every time you sit down to work, you know who to work with and what to work on. It's not just this wherever it is in the universe, it's actually written down on paper, and you can look at that map. And I always leave space on my map, blank spaces, where like I don't know who's going to be sent to me, but somebody's going to be sent in that place, and I'm going to develop that person to silver.
How many people who have very large, we've been talking to a lot of like silvers, golds, senior golds, but as a diamond, I know we have lots of diamonds on this call. Have you ever said, my team's just so big, like I don't know who to work with or like where to go? That's a victim story, by the way, just so you know. I'm going to call you all out on that, and I said it too.
Yeah.
When you have this map, there's no more victim story. I can tell you my 5 leaders that are engaged and working with goals right now because I made a map yesterday.
Yeah.
Made a map.
Yep, absolutely. And I have to make it for 3 teams now, right? So it's like, so if we can do it, you can do it. But if you don't make that map right now, then you're going to lose your way this month. You're going to lose your way. So that's why we did this call. We wanted to just do a goal setting call, get very real about the steps. And we can't do it for you because there are so many of you. And if you feel a little bit lost, do you have a dual upline you can go to, right? Maybe you're so new that you don't quite even know where you need to go for your next goal. You're silver or you're senior silver. You don't know how many people you need, what that would even look like. Ask for help. Ask for help to make that map. If you don't
go to your back office.
Yeah, if you don't have help, open up your back office. Exactly.
It's an amazing tool.
Start counting up. Be empowered. Be empowered. Don't wait for somebody to do it for you. And so step 1 is write down what you want. Step 2, why the heck do you want it? What meaning does it carry? What's it going to do for you? Step 3,
how many do you need?
How many do you need?
How many are you gonna
personally contribute? Yes.
And that number's high.
Who are you going to develop?
Who on your team are you going to develop?
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do?
Yep.
Write all this down.
And then the last is, what are you willing to give? What is it worth to you to give? And understanding that momentum is seasonal. Like, this might be one of your busiest seasons. This might be a time where you really dig in like never before, and you learn what it really actually takes to grow and to get that momentum. And so what are you willing to give for that? And it is just so worth it. We'll tell you, it is worth it. And you've heard the stories of our kids and what my kids say to me now. And I've spent many days in the closet crying. Just last week, I was in the closet crying on my birthday. We landed in Utah, and I was just crying.
She was just tired.
I was probably just tired. But I was crying in the closet. And it was, some of it was over my business and some things, and just like, how was everything going to work out? And everything worked out. Like, we all have days like that, no matter what stage of our business that we're in. But you guys are in the right place. That's what I want you to know, is that you're in the right place at the right time with the right people. We love you. We love momentum. We can't wait to pour more into you. And we can't wait to see all of your goals that you've mapped out, and go and spread this. Get your team members to set their goals, make their maps. If they're not in the momentum movement, tell them to get their butts in the momentum movement. It's never the same when you're not in it yourself, when you're just like trying to pass on the information to somebody else. It's like all those times I'm sitting in church and I feel the Spirit, and I'm like, that was the most tender thing, and tears rolling down my face. And I always think about somebody that I wish was there. I wish Jessica was here. I wish she was here. And you're going to have that feeling as a leader. You're going to be like, I wish Natalie was here. I wish she was here. So I don't want you to have that kind of FOMO, because I can stand here confidently And I know Emily can too, and say that what we're going to teach you and the tools we're going to give you are going to just totally flip things upside down in the best way and help you move forward. And a big part of that is just this energy that this group provides.
You guys are going to love it.
Yeah, and we're going to have so much fun.
Amazing.
And we're probably going to work till 3 a.m. almost every morning during the week to make it really, really amazing for you. So grab everybody.
We, not you. We.
No, not you.
We.
Yeah, because we're nuts like that, and we want to give you only the best.
We are perfectionists.
Yes, we're perfectionists.
So you will get a perfect
you benefit from that
product. Because if it's not bothering her, it's bothering me. And so and if it's not bothering us, it's bothering Jerry.
Yeah.
So between the three of us, you get a perfect product.
There we go. But the only way
Poor
it works,
Jerry.
I know.
Jerry, we love you.
Love Jerry.
Huge shout out to Jerry, you guys. She has been working overtime to make sure everybody was approved into the Facebook group.
She is. The only way this works, though, is if you work. Okay? We do not guarantee anybody's success. Because
unless you show up. If you show up,
yes,
you're going to be successful in this program.
But like my years as a personal trainer, I only saw those people 2 hours a week. The rest of the week, I couldn't control the fork to the mouth. I couldn't control the movement. I couldn't control their activity. This is the disclaimer, Audrey, yes. So just because you paid to be in this group doesn't mean you're going to get a result unless you apply the information that you're learning and unless you choose to have a good mindset about it. The mind and the heart have to go in the right direction, and then the activity will follow. So if you do that, you are going to see an amazing shift in your business and in your team culture throughout this month, and that is what we are committed to and we're going to bring to you. So
I can't wait! 4 days.
We'll see you
Get signed up. Bye.
Bye, guys.